Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
Welcome, everybody, to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date is April 15th, 2022. My guest tonight is Donna Wallace. Now, Donna is doing this little thing we like to call the Universal Energy Expo. It happens May 7th and 8th, Northern Kentucky Convention Center in Covington. So we're going to find out a lot more about that tonight. I want to say Donna has been very gracious. She has invited me like every year, and things have come up in the past, and this year I kind of planned ahead. It had less to do with actual traveling on my end than it did just knowing because I'm having to travel. I am going to be so far behind on the farm that it's not going to be funny. But Donna, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, how many years have you been doing the expo?
Well, technically, this is going to be our third year.
So I haven't missed it.
Our fourth year, if we wouldn't have had COVID situation.
Yeah. How are we going to explain that in 5 or 10 years? It's like we're still having trouble with it. We're on Scarefest 14. The Griffiths have owned it for 4 conventions, but they say, how long have you owned it? Well, actually, it's 5 years, but yeah. So we need to find a graceful way of explaining that to everybody when we introduce ourselves. Now, everybody, Don, I'm going to let you describe it. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody. Tell them what the Universal Energy Expo is and is all about.
Okay. So basically, it is an expo of 100 readers, healers, vendors, and then we have our celebrity guests that we've just started doing. This is Northern Kentucky's largest spiritualist expo. I started this basically because of the fact that we have different little spiritual festivals and fairs and expos, but we don't have any big things to really call our own in Northern Kentucky. It's usually in Ohio or south of here, over an hour away. So I've been part of many smaller fairs, and I thought, we need something to make an icon situation where this is, everybody knows once a year it's the Universal Energy Expo. There's going to be these readers that I love, and there's very interesting vendors because they can be from holistics to we do have some people coming in that are doing the the oddities. We have sometimes oddities. It's just a way for people to celebrate their spiritualism. Okay, so you're getting everything in one place. If you're needing candles, if you're into a certain spiritual path, candles and incense and oils, different things, jewelry, there's crystals at the wazoo. Lots of people are into crystals right now. So it's like we have all kinds of different vendors. But this is a way to celebrate no matter what spiritual path you're in, because it is a conglomerate of every path you can think of. So if you're talking about paganism, there's Buddhism, there's just so much to offer, but we're all gathered in one purpose, and that is the universal love. That's what it is about. It is unlike Scarefest. It is not a Scarefest. It would be the lighter side of Scarefest, but there are lots of things about witchcraft and things of that sort, but it is on the light side. So I'm truly excited to see how it has grown. Our first year, we do have vendors who have been with us since the beginning, and you can see a major growth each year. The attendance doubles. The workshops become more interesting. We do have guests this year. I have 4. started off with 2 and 2, you know, 2 at a time. But it was you. It was you, Wes. I don't know if you remember this or not. Yeah. You had something to do with this. When we were it was last year when I was at the Sacred Journeys Expo, the smaller expo there. Remember, I came to you and I said, I want one of those bad readings. Remember that?
I vaguely, what's okay. Now, I get to do the psychic bullshit now. I don't remember any of my readings. Now, most psychics get to say that, so I get to say it too. I remember you asking for a reading. I honestly can say I don't remember a damn thing about it.
Oh, it was so spot on. It was so spot on. And it was like, I loved watching you do the readings because, you know, I'm a tarot reader. And it's like the way you did it as holding the cards like a poker hand. It was cute as can be. But the message you gave me was, I said, I would like to know if you see anything about the next expo. And you said, you gave some things about it. The volunteers, don't change a thing how you run it. That's one of the compliments that we get is it's a very smoothly ran expo. Okay. Everybody has fun. There's so much to offer. And I'll get into that part as far as like admission and things. But you said this year you need to change a couple things on the guests. And you said there should be an author. There should be a female presence. There should be something with the paranormal. And then you brought up the most interesting thing. You said, there needs to be someone who's more on the flamboyant side.
Okay.
I said, all right. Okay. So I took those things and I took it to heart because the things you were talking about truly were going on within the expo at the time. So I followed your lead. I followed that reading. And so now we have Lexington's own spirit mechanics. That gives you your energy workers and your paranormal investigators. Okay. I have author Patty Wigington. She is very well known within, let's say, the Wiccan community. She has written for Llewellyn, who is a major publisher of like witchcraft books and different spiritual path books. She also does her own blogging. She has different websites and stuff she does things for, very popular. Okay. Then we have, that was the author. Okay. Then we had the females. I know you guys remember them at Scarefest as the Southern Gypsies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't keep up with the whole brouhaha over the name change, but I am aware that, yes, now they just simply go by the Connor sisters.
Yeah, they go by the Connor sisters.
No less crazy, if anybody's worried about it, no less crazy than they were before, but...
That they were what?
Crazy. And I don't mean in a bad way.
Oh, they are so much fun. Oh, so much fun. They came last year, and me and Misty, we are one of a kind, let me tell you. So anyway, Misty and Ashley, they are representing the women's side of things. And then last but not least, I took a chance on this. Now, I don't know if you follow TikTok at all, okay? But, you know, I am of a spiritual path. I am Wiccan and that kind of thing. And there was the gate, the Leo's gate, okay? This gate is about manifesting, okay? On the day of this supposed gate opening, I'm sitting on my porch going, I'm going to take this chance. I'm going to manifest what Wes was talking about with the flamboyant side of things. So I got a hold of Madam Adam. And Madam Adam is a very flamboyant, down to flippin' earth, very gay, but one of the best tarot readers I have ever seen, okay? And he's also a self-help guru. I messaged him. Now, this man has 1.5 million followers on TikTok. He has 65,000 followers on Instagram. And I have watched this guy go from beginning to where he's at now, which is huge. And I could not believe, I messaged him that night, just texting him. And within 15 minutes, he's like, hell to the yeah. He's like, I want to do that. That sounds like so much. I'm like, I was in shock. I was totally in shock. So those are the 4 that were in that reading that said it would be successful. So I got them all. Okay. Wes, you better be right.
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here thinking. So if it totally crashes and burns.
I am blaming you.
I am.
No, it has gotten such a buzz this year. it warms my heart to see a lot of the young ones. Okay, a lot of the young ones are looking for this. They're looking for a place where they can learn, they can be themselves, and just search. They're seekers. Okay, with the admission into the Universal Energy Expo, which is, it's a little bit more than the normal fairs around here. It is a $20 daily pass, okay? But you're getting hourly door prizes are included in this. Plus, they're getting every single workshop or lecture free.
Mhm.
So, Madam Adam, Spirit Mechanics, Patty Wigington, and the Connor sisters, on top of others, are going to be doing panels every day. And all that's included in their admission. So for $20, they're getting each workshop throughout the day is about $4. You see me? So it's like, it's a great place to learn. And that's our tagline is come curious, leave enlightened. So I'm excited this year. The buzz has been crazy. People in the shop are already getting tickets. It's just, I think you were right on the other end of the reading too. You said your biggest problem of this next expo is going to be the amount of volunteers.
Well,
That you may not have enough volunteers to cover it. And I was like, oh my goodness. Well, I'll worry about that when it happens. But all of a sudden now we've got plenty. We've got plenty of volunteers that came out of the woodwork. So I'm thankful and I'm blessed. You know, this is a message from my path that this is needed, or it wouldn't be growing like this. So
well,
I'm very excited.
well, I am honored both that you took my advice and that you remembered a single damn word of what I said. We got a couple minutes before a commercial break, so I'm gonna compare notes.
Yeah.
Now I do the Central Kentucky Mystical Market every month. Now this is actually more professional inside baseball stuff. Do you ever sit down to do your thing at a con? And I felt so off my game last. In other words, I felt that my advice was less targeted. It was more vague. It was more, of course, then again, I get some, for $10, people just throw any kind of question at me. But I'm not saying I gave bad readings. I'm saying that I didn't feel as connected to the readings as I usually do. Is that just a part of the human condition, or is that something that's common with tarot card readers?
Well, I don't know. At Scarefest. Now, let me back this up. At the Universal Energy Expo, I ain't reading. Okay, I am running like a chicken with her head cut off the entire time, making sure everyone is happy and smooth running. And so, but when I go to Scarefest, I am there as a reader, and I'm also there, you know, as a vendor. So my daughter normally does the vending part of it, and I do the readings. I don't have too much of a problem reading, except there was one time last year, and it just seemed like there's so many people walking by. But I take my tarot. I don't do the bad readings, as you say, bad readings. Okay, so I'm trying to get connected. Sometimes you get these people that walk by your space that have, I don't know if it's the energy about them, or it's just I'm picking up something from them, and that interferes. I've had that where I have to almost be like, give me 1 second here. I'm not seeing what I want to tell you. And I just wait for that feeling to leave. But that, if that's what you're talking about, it's harder for me at an expo or a con to do that.
I'm not going to blame it on anyone else's energy, just because the people we had a good crowd. That's one thing. The crowd was larger than usual. But And I had not been out drinking the night before. If anybody wants to throw that out there, no, nothing like that. I had a good night's sleep, as much as I can on a Friday night, because, you know, by the time I do this. But it just, well, for one thing that threw me off, now, of course, now I read out of 5 different decks. But I have a favorite.
Okay.
I have a favorite. I admit it. I have a favorite. And not a damn person all weekend asked for a reading out of my favorite deck. So...
Well, then don't give them a choice.
No, that's
just read
part of the shtick. I have to pray. You can walk up. Okay,
I remember this shtick.
You can walk up to me at a con. I just bought these tarot cards. Read the tarot card, and I'll freaking do it just because. That's the kind of fun guy I am. Okay, everybody, we're at the commercial break now. We're going to take our first commercial break. We will be back in just a few minutes. And don't forget, bottom of the hour, we're doing celebrity announcements.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
Come visit the Universal Energy Expo May 7th and 8th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Meet special guests, TikTok celebrity Madam Adam, published author Patty Wigington, psychic mediums the Connor sisters, and paranormal investigator Spirit Mechanics. Over 100 readers, healers, and vendors. Admission also includes door prizes and all workshops. The Universal Energy Expo. Come curious, leave enlightened.
Oh, goody, I'm in frame with her twice. That's just lovely. You know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so she can be a little bit smaller on your screen. What it is, it's a whole monitor
That's
issue.
right.
I am going to order a new monitor from Walmart this week because I can already see none of my contingency plans are working out. Anyway, everybody, now some questions that came up in the chat room that we're going to talk about. Donna, someone in the chat room wants to know, when you come to Scarefest, what do you charge for a reading?
I don't overcharge. I usually charge 25. It's 25 for a 15-minute reading. Any questions that they have, I just don't do medical or legal.
I've done medical. Now, arguably, I've probably done legal. But I have done medical, but once again, see, I get to go. But you're talking to a $10 psychic, you know. So take it for what it's worth. But okay, now I did want to get into. I want to pull up the website here. Now, everybody, if you want to play the home version of the game, I'm looking at Universal Energy Expo NKY.wordpress.com, and it actually says blog. So actually, but if you Google Universal Energy Expo, it will get you there post haste. Now, of course, the best I'll say it. Best way to find out about the place is on Facebook, but my particular computer here hates Facebook, so I'm going to stick with the website. Now, on the workshops, we're going to talk a little bit about the workshops that got coming up, and then we can talk about any other special events. Now, first of all, I do want to ask you about the this year's theme on the website, and watch on the poster. Celebrating the Divine Feminine. Celebrating the Divine Feminine. Yes. And I think that will play into something you said you wanted to make sure you pointed out during the commercial.
Yes. Every year I do a new kind of, if you want to say it, like a theme. Okay. Well, this year, if you look at when it's held, May 7th and 8th is Mother's Day weekend. So we are going to celebrate the Divine Feminine through different things. One of the things we are going to do is the first 500 moms coming through, we have a special gift for them. So one of the crystals that represents mothers is the rose quartz. So we are giving the first, yes, it's a mother stone. It's a love stone. It helps with anxiety and stress and things. And God knows us moms, we have a boatload. So the first 500 moms that are coming through the event that weekend are receiving a rose quartz pendant from us. So, but yeah, it is all about the moms, the Divine Feminine. I know that the ladies, Miss Patty Wigington, and I know the Connor sisters, their workshops may say one thing, but I know they're incorporating the Divine Feminine into that. So, yes, we're excited to have the moms. Big time. And then
Fest.
Wes leaves me.
Okay. I'm trying to decide. It's not because I pulled the website up and I can't see the chat room, so I'm having to look over here.
No, you're
Anyway,
fine. You're fine.
Now the question. Now this is one's for you. Now at Scarefest, now do people generally have to kind of walk up and pre-book, or can they just walk right up to your table?
Most of the time, it's been pretty easy about walking up to the table. I do have a sign-in sheet up at our booth, which I believe I'm doing this from memory, but I believe this year we're in booth 114.
Don't count on it.
Basically right when you walk in.
Okay, but don't count on it though.
Pretty much right.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you'll move far, but reserving. We basically at this point in the game, you reserve an area, and then by the time we change the floor plan 6 times between now and October. Which I get.
Okay, that's fine.
I get to explain to people.
That's fine.
So yeah,
you can place me right next to Robert England. I have no problems with that.
Actually, you probably would if you actually want to make money that weekend. I'll be honest with you. Now,
but no, they can just walk up to the booth. I do have a sign-in sheet in case it does get busy.
Okay.
And basically, what would happen is, let's just say I do start getting busy with readings. They will put their name on that sign-in sheet for the time slot. Let's say it was a 2:00 time slot. At 1:30, 1:40, I'm going to text them and say, you are next. Please make sure you're here on time. That kind of thing. So it still runs very smooth, whether it's signing in or if they just walk up. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, we're going to talk about the workshops at the Universal Energy Expo coming up May 7th and 8th, Northern Kentucky Convention Center. The Saturday workshops, right off the bat, Spirit Mechanics at noon. Echoes and entities discussing the differences. It's funny, as good as I know the boys, and I'm technically a spirit mechanic. See, I could actually show up if I wanted to that weekend and sit in their booth. But we have never talked about this. They have never. This has never come up.
What are you asking me for?
You what?
What are you asking me for? I'm not a mechanic.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm pointing out they're going off my script. They will discuss what echoes are, how to identify and interact with them, communication with intelligent entities, and proper EVP session technique etiquette.
Yes.
Etiquette. I thought I said technique. It's just etiquette because they're polite.
Yes. You have to be polite.
I agree with you. Although I did have one ghost tell me that I was too uptight, I believe was the word. But anyway.
I mean, to ask me what these people are all doing, they're giving me their workshops, yes. Some of them I'm still going over and that kind of thing, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew who's doing what at what time. Now, as far as Spirit Mechanics, a lot of their presentations are going to be about energy works, okay? That one specifically is about working with the paranormal. I am loving that fact that they are. Echoes, I am not familiar with. I'm kind of going to sit in on that one if I can. But I do know with doing paranormal investigations myself, he and I, especially Steve and I, are always on the same level, it seems like. So doing things with etiquette, I'm sure that they're going to be teaching respect. Oh, yeah. You get better results when you do a paranormal investigation, when you treat them like they are a person and not some ghost you're hunting. I hate that term. I hate that term, ghost hunting. We don't hunt them. We communicate with them.
It doesn't bother me, but largely the reason it does not bother me is because I'm dealing with entities that if they'd follow directions, I wouldn't be there to talk to me. So, in other words, I'm not going to dance around their feelings any longer. I'm not going to be a douche about it. But, in other words.
That's true. I mean, it depends on where you're being called. Okay. I know that the mechanics are usually called into situations that are more of the dark end.
Yes, absolutely.
I do know that. Right. Well, I am not.
Yeah, but so it doesn't matter. Grandma should have went through the light like everybody else. Okay.
Wes. Now, she may have gotten stuck. She might be stuck. She might be worried about her grandkids. You're horrible. That's horrible.
I'm a horrible, horrible psychic, everybody. Okay.
No, you're not.
Ghosts are tedious. That's one thing I will say about ghosts. Even the good ones, the nice ones, they're all tedious, and it's because they have too much time on their hands.
I have one. I have one at the shop. And see, people don't know that the Universal Energy Expo is kind of like, it's sponsored by my shop. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the Silver Wolf which, by the way, we are a featured vendor this year at Scarefest. I thought we'd step it up a bit. But I mean, we have a resident ghost in our shop. He's been there since we expanded. We were in one retail space, and then 2 years ago, we took over another space and expanded for our event center and our education. He came along with that. So Eric is actually like our essential unpaid employee. It's very strange. I know it sounds very strange.
No, I just thought
he's
you'd
very
say mascot.
friendly.
But go ahead.
No, but he's a very friendly spirit that does not want to go. We've asked him several times, if you want to go, we'll cross you over. He doesn't want to go, but he comes in handy. I'll tell you, when we have the paranormal etiquette classes, I will ask him. I will say, Eric, I need you to come over here and test the equipment. He will come over, light it up. He'll light things up. He'll do whatever we ask him to do. There's been times I've walked down the hall to get to the storeroom and I've got my hands full and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to sit this down. And here goes the door. Here. So he does come in handy.
Well, yeah, if he's opening door. Ghosts are not usually that useful, though. They're just bang around the attic and knock over crap. Anyway, now the Connor sisters at 1 p.m. scheduled to do an interactive lecture. That means that they're going to be themselves. Speaking on the usage and influences of Appalachian folk magic. You know, it's funny, though. We've talked about this a little bit with them. And most of what they call Appalachian folk magic, when I grew up, that was just what your grandmother did. It just, the word magic never came up.
Yeah, I mean, people confuse folk magic is a lot of root working, is what they call it. And that is using that weed up on the hill. That's usually, a lot of us in Kentucky especially, you'll find stinging nettles sitting right up on your hill. You just don't know what they looks like. You can use that for all kinds of purposes.
You can find out what they look
so
like
it's
real
like,
quick.
Huh?
So you can figure out what they look like real quick if you go out of your shorts.
Yeah. All you gotta look for is those purple, almost cactus-like weeds is what they are. They have a square stem. Look it up. Stinging nettle. They have so much use when it comes to antibacterial, all kinds of different things. Now the girls, they're a little bit more than just they're root workers, yes, but they are considered, if you want to call them witches, like I am. They are witches, but they practice more of the hoodoo, if you know the term hoodoo. It's more about that kind of thing. Working with roots, working with the plants, doing a lot more healing than hexing, if you want to call it that way. But they're pretty powerful girls. Misty was just on my live couple weeks ago. She was on for 2 weeks with me. We were talking all about spell casting and different things you can do that, there's lights and darks to everything. And them girls, they're pretty powerful. And they just started a coven with 2 other ladies, and now they're actually writing a book. So it's like they've grown quite a bit in their path. So better not hear Misty say that they don't do no magic there, Wes. She'll start hexing you.
Okay, everybody. It is time for our second commercial break. Boy, that one flew by quick. Of course, I wasted a while getting you back on the air. Now, we're going to do our commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hop into our announcements. And then about that time, Donna will probably lose her picture again. So we'll have to stop and fix that.
I'm going to become like this little tiny square, aren't I?
Yeah, it's every time it gets... Anyway, we'll be right back, everybody.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
our first celebrity announcement of the evening for Scarefest 2022. Scarefest 14, Lance Hendrickson. That's right, Lance Hendrickson, whose IMDb page, by the way, I'm just going to say it's weird, because known for is usually the most popular movie on down the line. They've got Hard Target in first place. Now, I loved Hard Target. I enjoyed that movie, but that is not what he's known for. He is known for Aliens. He was Bishop on Aliens. Aliens versus Predator. Charles Bishop Whalen. He was in The Quick and the Dead. But yes, we do have Lance Hendrickson, who is just an absolute staple of the science fiction world. I think that's the one. I'm pretty sure that's who Brandon was saying he was geeking out about. And I did a little bit. I'm
geeking.
Yeah, I need his geeking. We're all geeking over Lance Hendrickson coming. Now, next up, Steve Nappy's coming back. Steve Nappy. Now, Steve is more of a stuntman, but he does have some screen time. You can see him on come on, computer load. What's the name of that movie? I need to remember it because I hate saying I don't even like the movie, but I've said why. It was not Steve's fault. Death House. He has a party checkpoint. Old 37 that I've never watched. It looked like a hell of a good movie, but my wife freaked out within the first 5 minutes of the movie starting. Yeah. So I didn't get to watch it all the way through. She said, turn that off. But anyway, Death House. But Steve Nappy's coming back. He is proficient in axe throwing. We know that much because he won the first year we did it. Now, last year he didn't win. Did Tall Guy?
Robert?
Yeah, I think Robert Meeks won last year. Anyway. Next up, hey, Scarefest staff. We're starting our Scarefest meeting cycles. We've got one coming up at the end of the month via Zoom. We're going to be having in-person meetings this year, which means you can actually interact with other humans in person. But we are still taking staff applications. We're still adding to the list. I haven't checked the actual total number yet, but we're probably getting up there where we need to be, but we are still taking applications. So if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. Scarefest Horror Film Festival is taking submissions. Go to scarefestweekend.com or thescarefest.com. Click the Horror Film Festival. It'll take you right to our Film Freeway page where you can upload your entry into the Scarefest Horror Film Festival. Tell all your independent film people that you know. Okay, and finally, I do want to remind everybody that Central Kentucky Mystical Market will be coming up May. It's a weekend after Donna's computer is so slow. May 14th and 15th. May 14th and 15th. I have no details beyond that, other than to know that I do have to fix this one more time. It's actually looking at the right monitor now. It's just not. I know what it is. See, it keeps flopping her over here. So if I do this. There. Now watch. I'm getting faster. I cannot believe I have to do all this edit. I might just leave it like this just so people know what a train wreck I am in real life. Now,
we still love you. What is it? Bless your heart.
Yeah. Now, author Patty Wigington, Spiritual Decluttering is a 2 p.m. presentation. Now, I'm just going to read the blurb about it. We've all read about the life-changing practice of getting rid of things that don't bring us joy. But there's more to decluttering than just cleaning out your closet or emptying your basement. By decluttering our minds, spirits, and souls, we can help ourselves move forward towards success and happiness. And I am a firm believer in this. In this workshop, you'll learn how to declutter your spiritual life by freeing up emotional space, embracing self-care, and learning to set boundaries, which usually you just have to learn to use the word no to begin with. No. After all, once you get rid of the garbage, you'll make room. So anyway, that's the 2 p.m. on Saturday, 3 p.m. Okay, Madam Adam, Tough Love Tarot with Madam Adam. First of all, okay, now I've told Ken Boggle this because he does a tarot blast, I think he calls it, gallery. And I won't, and I don't go to Beverly McChesney's university gallery. I don't want to be read in public. No, of course not. It's get to know Adam, his style of tarot, love and tarot, one card readings with the audience, ending in Q&A, which is weird because I do a tarot gallery, and I do, and if nobody volunteers, yeah, I'll do an impromptu reading, but the way you've described him, it sounds like I don't know if he would hold back any information that the cards gave him, even in the gallery.
The thing is, with Madam Adam, he is he's just very down to earth and very truthful. Okay, almost brutally truthful. These platforms, I watched him in Orlando. He was one of the Comic-Cons or something like that. So when he hit it live on his platform, I wanted to watch him to see how he interacts and how does that work with people. They absolutely loved him. It wasn't about putting someone down or bringing out their dirty laundry or anything like that. It's more about when you do a one card, because I do those on Thursday nights live. One cards are more of what you need to know. Universe is telling you something. So that one card can be like, listen, you have been trying to move on from this situation. The problem is it's you who's keeping you there. No one's keeping you there. Although your thoughts are telling you that, you're not. So it's not brutal when it's a one card. Give me a 3 card, I can be brutal. It's like, but the one cards a lot of times come across as like self-help. So it's awesome to listen to him. So I believe he's going to be successful with that. He's going to be very successful.
I did want to back up on spiritual decluttering. That was something that came up this weekend. I had someone sit across me, and she was so frustrated that her meditations, her abundance meditations, her law of attraction had not been working to her satisfaction.
Right.
And I tried, and this had, I could have used the cards to do this, but I had to explain to her, if this is your mindset, when you sit down here, from the time the law, attraction only works once you program your mind to look for the good parts, to look for the opportunities. It's rare that an opportunity will just drop in your lap, unless you want to volunteer for the Scare Fest. That means you just show up a couple of years and they will. But you know what I mean. They you have to be watching for the opportunity. You have to be wanting it. You have to be ready for it. And so I don't know why I threw that in there, but I just
I tell people that too about the law of attraction. Having the negative outlook, like, well, it's not happening, it's not working. Well, right there, you just reversed everything about the law of attraction that you're wanting. Universe listens. So anytime you want something, say it out loud. Say it out loud. I need this in my life, or whatever. If it's a positive manner, you're right. It will come your way. It's not going to be dropped in. Okay, I need rent. I need rent this week. I'm short $500. That doesn't mean $500 is going to drop into your lap. But if you're watching your environment or your surroundings, you will see the path to get it. That's the thing. That's what people aren't seeing. They're seeing this spell casting the same way. Anything like that. Anything that deals with any kind of spiritual abundance, anything you're trying to draw to yourself, it is all about not asking the universe, gimme, gimme. It's show me the way to get to that path. Show me the way to get to that money that I do need. Most likely someone's going to offer you a side hustle, as they call it. Or you're going to realize that you got this motorcycle you never drive anymore. Let's get it sold so we get, you know what I'm saying? There, that thought, that process, like you said, law of attraction has to be a positive. If you send negative, that's exactly what you're going to get. It works the exact same way. It's like karma. In a way, it's like karma. Put it out there in a negative way. Put it out there in a positive way.
I don't talk about karma a lot because I think it's too damn slow, but that's just me. Anyway, now 4 p.m. Patricia Gary, who I am not familiar with, but she is doing a Reiki workshop. Have you always wondered what Reiki hands-on energy healing is and wonder what it feels like? I've had lots of Reiki done, but I ended up probably doing it because I had no interest in doing tarot, and then here I am. Now, Thomas Freeze, Kids Say the Darndest Thing. This guy's kind of famous. The author of 6 books, True Encounter Tales. So how come he didn't make the front page, huh?
Because he didn't ask to be a celebrity, huh? No, I was going to, I'm going to blame this on you. I could have used him as an author, but I wanted to have the female aspect of it too. Remember that reading?
No.
No, I would love to have Thomas Freeze would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, to have as a celebrity.
What?
I may approach him for it next year. But backing up though, Patricia Gary, she is very popular in the greater Cincinnati area. Her group, what they're doing is it is an explanation of Reiki and how it works, but it's her and a group of people who are Reiki masters that are actually going into the audience to get you to feel it. So that's what hers is about. Now with Thomas, he's a mystery always to me. He comes up with the neatest subjects to talk about. So I'm still reading on his because you and I both know, Wes, there's a lot of details to this expo. So I'm just now finally getting to that point where I can take a breath. I can take a breath and finally really look at what their presentations are. So Thomas had about the kids say the darndest things, but you're looking at the explanations of the okay. So with this, I don't have it in front of me, and it's not that I don't know my own expo, but I am a sole person who's doing this. So what does he have on that?
Okay, kids say the darndest things. Basically, the gist of it is kids have invisible friends, see fairy folk, talk to dead people, and encounter multi-dimensional entities. None of which I did when I was a kid. Now, when I was a teenager, it's a little different story. Come listen, learn, and be better prepared to support our gifted children as they report true tales, seeing what we often do not. I am going to sit here and tell you my imaginary friend was imaginary. But, that being said, the voices in my head are just awful. Now, I am going to... Would you give the belly dancing troop's name? Because I will butcher it like a slaughtered...
That's fine. Yeah.
animal.
Every day or on the weekend, at the end of the day, we have a performance by Dakarai Tribere. They are a belly dancing troupe, and they are more of what they call tribal dancing. So they've been with us since the beginning, and people love watching them. So they're very inventive. I could not tell you what their show will be. They change it every time, but they're great entertainment. So.
And then everybody, now if you can't go Saturday, although make a 2-day of it. If you cannot go Saturday, Sunday workshops also start at noon. Spirit Mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one, me and the boys might have to have a talk because they know how I feel about this. But para-unity, metaphysics, and investigation. I don't have a objection to the concept, but those words, I am so much over that phrase. So I'm going to have a talk with Steve. But the goal of this panel is to find a balance between sensitives and investigators. One should never discredit the other due to them being on opposite sides of the same coin, and they'll discuss how to build the gap and give examples based on their experience. Connor sisters are up at 1. Appalachian folk magic has been unbeknownst. Appalachian folk magic has been unbeknownst, talking like they're from Tennessee, used in...
Well, they are. Well, they're from Virginia.
Nobody uses the word unbeknownst anymore.
Hey, we witches do, okay?
Okay, well... okay.
That was on Spirit Mechanics last night. We were talking about that, the phrases that we use, so mote it be, and things of this sort.
Yeah, but...
We like that old stuff.
Well, okay, I get mote it be, but unbeknownst? That's like Victorian.
Oh, hush.
Anyway, simple traditions, luck charms is simply put how Grandma did it, which brings us full circle to the way I described it. The Connor sisters, raised in an isolated farm in the Appalachians, will speak on behalf of the growth and diversity of the magic field, their flair and flavor of Appalachian folk music. Magic.
Music, folk music, yeah. They might sing.
You never know. I've seen them do it. Patty Wigington, setting up your ancestral altar.
Yes.
Now, this one, a little more serious. I'm going to try to be reverent here. Have you ever thought about working with your ancestors for spiritual growth and personal empowerment? My answer is no. I probably should, but I don't want my family to know what I'm into. Okay, one of the most magical things you can do is set up an altar in your personal space to honor your ancestral guides. It will give you a place to spiritual focus, confer protection upon your home, and give you greater access to the wisdom and guidance of your ancestors. So that one's coming up at 2 p.m. 3 p.m., Madam Adam, reading tarot for yourself and why it's so important. This will cover Madam Adam's own tarot journey and debunk a lot of stigmas around reading for yourself and biased position. I do not read for myself. I will use my cards to meditate. I don't trust my own advice, I guess. No, I guess in a way I do. I just don't do it the same way. But in other words, I'll pull a card and I'll meditate on it. But it's less about trying to read the card than just commercial.
Well, I mean, technically, you are what you're doing is you're giving yourself a daily affirmation, or you're giving yourself something to work on for that day, and that's still a read. You're just looking at something that you feel that you need to improve on. That's kind of how I get that. Now, as far as reading for yourself, I'm kind of glad that Madam Adam decided to do that, because being a reader myself, I can read myself. I do. If I've tried everything, and I tell this to people, don't let the cards. I have people that want to come to me every week for reading, and that's absolutely crazy. Okay, give it a month. Nothing changes all that much in 7 days. But for me, I will do a reading for myself if I've tried everything to get that answer and I'm just still not getting it. So then I'm going to my tarot for guidance. So I'll do a small reading for me. But one of the things I know he's going to bring up in this is when you read and you know these cards, one card, let's take the Empress, okay? Since you know somewhat of the tarot. You could sit there and say you don't know all these tarot cards, and you do. The Empress is a woman of nurturing, okay? So she can represent a few different things. She can represent someone's going to get pregnant. She can represent the nurturing ability of that person that you're reading for. She can represent, hey, it's time to take control of your queendom, okay? But reversals means that, you're not taking enough time for self-care and self-love. So right there, I gave you 4 different meanings for that card. That's the problem I find when I read for myself. It's not that I can't read for myself. It's that I can become biased and say, not sure if I like the way that's saying. Maybe it means something else, and I could twist back to any way I want it. Now I'm lost.
Okay, everybody, it's good timing. We're gonna go ahead and take our commercial break. We'll be back with a few more minutes from.
Maybe I'll be back.
I just gotta turn the thing back on. Anyway, Donna Wallace will be back. Universal Energy Expo coming up May 7th and 8th. We'll be right back with more Scarefest TV.
Horror. Movie. Fans. 4. Life. On Facebook. Find us. 4 watch parties. 4 news. 4 memes. 4 friends. 4 life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. This week we're going to talk about a movie that's streaming on Hulu, and it's called Fresh, because this review is totally fresh. It's a terrible joke. Now, I enjoyed this quite a bit, but the least amount you know about it, the better off you're going to be, because Fresh is one of those movies where it has twists and turns, and you don't necessarily always see what's going to happen. I mean, it's not the most unpredictable film if you've ever seen a horror film, but it is kind of unpredictable in certain. I just enjoyed it. It's so well acted. The writer and director, I wasn't familiar with their work. It's directed by a lady named Mimi Cave and written by a woman named Lauren Kahn. I don't know them, but I love the fact that it gives the female perspective on dating, because if you read the IMDb description of the movie, it's just one sentence of the horrors of modern dating, seen through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. Now, that gives almost too much away, but it is scary out there. I want you to think about the world, specifically from there's a comedian we're not allowed to talk about anymore, but from a woman's perspective on this. You say, you meet somebody and you go, yeah, sure, I'll go out with you. And then you go out with them and you don't really know that much about them. Or think about the times you've just hooked up with people. Think about the times you've thought, oh yeah, what was your last name? Think about those. Think about some of them that you've had that you couldn't get rid of. And we're not even talking bad things, just aggravating and still talking to you. I mean, there's still people who talk to me. Why? I'm being kind of a punk. It's true. Sometimes you just make bad decisions and it sticks with you. Dating's awful. And dating for these people in this movie is even worse. And it's from a woman's perspective. I loved it. It's got many meaty layers. The less you know about it, the more you're going to enjoy it. Okay. The less you know about it, the more you're going to enjoy it. The boyfriend, Sebastian Stan, you'll know him as Bucky from the Marvel films, and just a wonderful actress named Daisy Edgar Jones plays Noah. I love the movie. It was quite good. Someone recommended it to me at work, and I was like, I don't know. I don't read it. Look at it's great. It's on Hulu. If you've got the Hulus, start streaming it. It's different. And if you know some about the plot, because I'm not going to say because I don't want you to know anything, but if you know some things about the plot, don't worry. It's not that gory. It really isn't. If you're looking for Gorefest, if you're looking for something that was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that new piece of shit one that I reviewed a few weeks, it's nothing like that. It's nowhere near as gory. It's handled, for lack of a better way of putting it, tastefully. Taste, meat, forget it. I'm going to stop dropping hints. All right, go out and see Fresh on Hulu. I liked it a lot. Says a lot. Has a lot of layers to it. And it's just an inventive little movie. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. See you at a convention soon.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. Before I turn it back over to Donna, I do have some I'm going to answer some generalized information from the questions we've gotten from the chat room about the Scarefest. First of all, somebody asked how much is a featured vendor booth. The answer is you buy a booth. Featured vendor is an add-on. It's an advertising add-on. So what is it? $50, I think, for basic featured. You can get sponsoring. You can also get sponsoring vendor. But there's layers, people. The answer is to go to thescarefest.com or scarefestweekend.com. Click the vendor link, and it's all there. Now, and Donna, okay, it's wonderful that we've announced Robert England, but now everybody's coming out of the woodwork telling us how to run our convention. Okay, everybody, I'm going to tell you something. We appreciate all of your suggestions about photo ops, but here's the deal. He has to be at his table to sign autographs, including the pictures taken at the photo ops. In other words, you can go get a photo op, but if he's not at his table the rest of the weekend, guess what? It's not getting signed. So I'm just saying, yes, he will do a buttload of photo ops. We're working with his agent now on which ones that will be, but suggesting every variation of photo op will not, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because he's got to be at his table because people want his autograph. Now, speaking of autographs, the other thing is we have not locked down how we're going to do his line. Here is advice I'm going to give everyone, though. That VIP line skip that you get with your VIP ticket, gold and platinum, probably will not work on his line because the way we're going to have to do his line to keep it under control this time, you're going to pre-purchase his autograph and have to be there at a certain time. Now, if you can't be there when you buy at whatever time slot you buy, we will work with you. Don't get me wrong, but we cannot have a line like we did last time he was here. I think everyone that was there will agree with that, and so that's that's what the system we are seeing that seems to work the best. If he's going to be at his table from 1 to 2 before he takes a break, you will buy an autograph ticket because we know how many autographs he can sign in an hour. and you will buy an autograph ticket, and you will get to that ticket will be good to go up, get one autograph in that amount in whatever time slot. Now, somebody asked once, wasn't in the chat room, but also they asked about him doing multiple items. Yes, each item will be another ticket. So I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that you can't show up with an armload of shit and throw it on this table. There. Now, back to Donna Wallace and the Universal Energy Expo.
But now, if they want my autograph, I'll do it for free.
I do mine for, and you know what though? When we used to do the book, nobody keeps the book anymore, so we just said, okay, if you're going to spend all weekend looking at your phone, we're not going to give you anything to read. But I will say the one thing I miss is little kids coming around and getting my autograph in that book. I was so honored because I didn't charge, they no line at my booth. But yeah, I do kind of miss that part of it. Okay, Donna has some final high points she wants to point out about the Universal Energy Expo coming up May 7th and 8th, Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Donna.
I appreciate that. One of the things I do want to mention is, and I know that you guys that are listening and watching all know Chris Sutton, Coyote Chris Sutton. He had the show right after this.
And he co-hosted for years with me.
Yep. And as we all know, he passed away last year, and it hit me hard. Him and another person. Chris was one of our guests last year. He was one of our celebrity guests, and he did an awesome job of being the shaman that he is. Okay. Well, we all know he passed away this year, and there was another person who was part of our expo named Steve Roden. He was an elderly gentleman, psychic, wonderful person, wonderful. And he would have conversations with Steve. That's what he called it. And you would just literally walk up to his booth. He'd sit down. He wouldn't charge a dime for his psychic services. And he just loved people. And he also passed away this year. So when you do come to the Universal Expo or Universal Energy Expo, there is going to be an area, and I'm still trying to figure out the best one so that it's not I don't want it to be knocked over or anything like that. But we are going to be setting up a remembrance altar for both Chris and Steve. So I'm thinking of putting it close to where the stage is, because that's where Chris was always, and Steve visited regularly up at the stage area. So we'll probably set up an altar of remembrance, not collecting anything or nothing. It's just they were part of our family, so we're going to set that up. But just guys, if you're interested in coming curious and leaving enlightened, check out the website. The Facebook page is under Universal Energy Expo, but it will tell you, it has the little button to learn more, which will take you straight to the website. If you want to go on Google, you can just put Universal Energy Expo 2022. It will take you to the website. But if you're one who wants to know the website, it is www.universalenergyexpo.nky. That stands for Northern Kentucky. nky.wordpress.com. It will give you everything from those workshops that Wes was just talking about to the admission prices, which is they're $20 for daily passes, but for $30 you can get a weekend pass. And then we also there's lodging. So if you are coming from Lexington, which is really not that far away, if you're coming from someplace that's over an hour away, you can stay at the Marriott for a very inexpensive price for their rooms. You're getting like a $200 room for $139. So that's an option there. There will be food and drink there. There will be concessions at the Universal. Just everything you can imagine about it will be on that webpage. And of course, you can always check out not to throw this out there, but you can also check out the shop. We're on Facebook too, under the Silver Wolf Treasures and Gifts. You can check us out there, and we also do things about, we're doing different announcements too about what's going to be at the Universal. So you've got options there. You can follow us there. So yes, I would love to see your listeners and your viewers come to this. I think even if you're in the horror scene, I think you would really enjoy this. It's good for the soul. That's what I could say. It's a very relaxing, enjoying, fulfilled. It's just a nice environment. Okay, it's family friendly, so feel free to bring the kids. As a matter of fact, adults coming in 12 and under are free anyway, so it's a family thing. So you can bring that, and don't forget to bring mom, because we are going to celebrate her. We do have a gift for the first 500 moms. We're giving them a very pretty. It's a tumbled rose quartz necklace, is what it is. It is a full necklace, not just the pendant. So yeah, I'm excited. And if it, and then you can tell Wes later how his readings are not crap.
And that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
It should. I miss you. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Scarefest if I don't see you earlier.
I should, assuming Brandon doesn't send me to like Washington or someplace. I should be at the one up in Cincinnati. It's in August. It's one we actually met.
The Sacred Journey.
Yeah, Sacred Journey. I don't remember these things.
I'm probably going to be part of that. I just was telling Steve that last night. I just can't do the April one when they have it because of the fact that I am trying so hard to get the expo done.
Right.
So I just
yeah.
So, but I probably will be there in August. I'll probably be doing readings and whatever else we decide to do. So it's like
I was telling Nita today, I'm going to go just because I like the hotel. Best toilets in America. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to put that out there. Some of the best toilets I have encountered anywhere in America. Anyway, so that's coming, but we do have the Universal Energy Expo coming up May 7th and 8th. If it's a really shitty weekend, I might even try to come up and see you because I won't be able to work on the farm. But,
weekends tend to be bad weather.
yeah, except when I have to be on the road. It'll be beautiful here. They've already told me, week after this, which, the weatherman today's already predicted it's going to be the best weather we've had all spring, and they're going to take up an entire Sunday afternoon with it. So, yeah, that's my life. That's my life, but that's what I like to do. I like to share. So, now, if you missed it, Lance Henriksen was our celebrity announcement, and Steve Nappy, that was our celebrity announcements for the evening. And we do have tons more celebrity announcements. I am going to go ahead and give you a heads up, though. We cannot bring in every person that has starred in a Nightmare on Elm Street because there was like 24 of the damn things, and we're getting fairly. I'm not saying we're done. I'm just saying that we got to book somebody else. I mean, yeah. Okay, so there you go. That's why I am the voice of the Scarefest, because I do not filter what I say very much, and I had to get that off my chest. That please, and we're working. We've got our paranormal headliners just about lined out. We should have at least one of the announcements probably. I'm going to guess it's going to be, but probably in time for the Universal Energy Expo, because I don't think we'll get it done before we go to Texas Frightmare, which is another plane trip that I got to take. Everybody, this has been Scarefest TV. We'll see you next week.